talk about how you've put together a roster since then, and who you've got on the team, what the team looks like, how you pick these guys, what that whole process is like of pulling together your Call of Duty League roster for the Minnesota RØKKR.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about what that process looked like from my point of view, and Jake, feel free to chime in on the with the skills and the strengths and weaknesses of the players, because he's that's his wheelhouse. But It was a really fascinating process, because there was an old league that was sunsetting, and then our league was standing up in its place. Mm-hmm. And so all 6 of our 7 players were pros in the old league. Most of the players that are in the new league as well. But every player was a free agent. So if you picture any the NBA, the NFL, if suddenly tomorrow every player was a free agent, it would just be the Wild West, right? And it was very interesting, for myself, coming from a traditional sports background, to watch that process unfold, because you had groups of 2 or 3 players that were teaming up and would shop themselves around to teams and say, hey, if you want me, you gotta we're coming as a package deal.
Ooh.
And it was really fascinating, but we're really excited about the guys that we have. 2 of our players won the championship in the league 2 years ago. Silly and Assault are their gamer names. Mm-hmm. We've got
were they a package? Did you have any guys that came as a package?
Yeah. So the first 3 players we signed, Justin Fargo, Palmer, Silly, Adam Garcia, Assault, and Adam Brown, GodRx is his gamer name. The 3 of them came as a package deal, and we were thrilled to start the roster. And Jake, you can probably speak to what what roles they play in the game and how they fit in the roster, right?
Yeah. So key 3 players: Adam, GodRx, Assault, and Silly. I'd say Assault and Silly were more of a package deal in the beginning. The recent success 2 years prior. They really enjoyed teaming with each other. Their work ethics were aligned. Their attitudes were similar. So they knew they wanted to play together. I think once they decided on a home, it made sense to pick up GodRx, who was coming off one of the best events he's ever had in the Call of Duty Championships last year. Okay. In terms of roles, you had Assault, who's been known as a top assault rifle player for the last 2-3 years.
Hence the name.
Okay. Main AR, holding stuff down, looking over his team, letting them push up. Silly's sort of your utility, do-it-all / objective player. He'll do the dirty work. He can pick up kills if need be, if Assault's having a slow game, so they can pick up and definitely slay around the map. And then GodRx is also a utility player, but based more so off killing. So most of the teams we play and practice against actually have they have quite a few words to say about GodRx, just because of how good he is on the map.
Really?
Yeah, his name's super fitting. So at that point, we sort of had 2 assault rifle players. We had 1 utility, and we knew we needed to go get 2 submachine gun players that played quickly. And that's sort of when I came on board. And then I was involved in hiring the next 2 players, which ended up being Alex, who's actually from Europe, and Asim, who's from Toronto, Canada. So